Update, holy crap, you guys, the entitlement is off the charts. So, after my text, Veronica tried calling about 47 times that first day. I didn't answer. The voicemails progressed from, "Babe, we need to talk. This is all a misunderstanding. You're being really immature. Call me back now," complete screaming meltdown. Tuesday morning, she showed up at my condo building. Fortunately, I'd already given the front desk a heads up that we'd separated and she shouldn't be let up. She made quite a scene. Apparently, security had to escort her out. But here's where it gets good. Wednesday, I get a call from her business lawyer, Marcus. This dude, the audacity. "My client is concerned about some actions you've taken regarding her business loan." Me, "Your client announced our relationship was over on social media. I simply informed the bank of our changed status. That was a personal expression of growth. It didn't mean it literally. It said a queen doesn't need a king. Regardless, you have no right to sabotage her business." She's prepared to file what? I made no false statements to the bank. I'm a guarantor on a loan that's 3 months behind. I have every right to protect my interests. He started blustering about malicious intent and tortious interference until I cut him off. "Are you aware she's 3 months behind on payments?" Silence. "That's temporary cash flow issues. Every business, so, you knew and you're calling me? Interesting. Pretty sure I need my own lawyer now. We're done here." Hung up. But Thursday is when the real fun started. The bank had clearly started their review because Veronica went nuclear. She made another Instagram post. This time it was a Notes app screenshot. One of those long emotional dumps. I'll spare you the whole thing, but highlights included: "I was financially abusive by stopping being her guarantor. I was intimidated by her success." What success? "I couldn't handle a strong independent woman who needed me to guarantee her loan. I was trying to destroy everything she built." Built with whose credit? The best part? She ended with, "A real man would support his woman's dreams, not tear them down out of spite." My comment this time: "A real queen pays her own bills." Her friends went absolutely rabid in the comments. My phone was blowing up with DMs calling me every name in the book. I just kept screenshotting everything. Then Friday happened. The bank called me. "Mr. Name, we've completed our review of the loan you guaranteed. Given the payment history and current status, we're moving to accelerate the full balance. As guarantor, you'd be liable if the primary borrower cannot pay the $73,000 remaining balance. However, we'll first attempt to work with the borrower on resolution." $73,000. She'd barely made a dent in the principal. I asked what their next steps would be. They said they'd already sent formal notice to Veronica demanding full payment or a meeting to discuss options: refinancing, which she'd never qualify for; payment plan, which she couldn't afford; or surrender of collateral, which was basically nothing. The loan was mostly unsecured except for some equipment. An hour later, my phone rang. Veronica's mom. "Diane, what have you done?" "Hello to you, too, Diane, you vindictive little man. How dare you try to ruin my daughter? Your daughter ruined herself when she stopped paying the loan I guaranteed. She's been putting everything into growing the business. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, like sacrificing loan payments while posting champagne photos on Instagram. You were just jealous. She was always too good for you." Apparently, the banks agree. That's why she needed my signature. She cursed me out for another minute before I hung up. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. Someone's banging on my door. Look through the peephole. It's Veronica with some guy I don't recognize. I don't open it. Just called building security. They escort them both out. I get a text from an unknown number. That was her new investor, Bradley. "We wanted to discuss buying out your guarantee position. Your loss. She's about to close major deals. You'll regret this." Sure, Jan. The audacity keeps escalating. People, I can't even. So, after the investor Bradley incident, things went quiet for a few days. I figured Veronica was scrambling to figure out the bank situation. I was partially right, but the lengths she went to. First, I need to explain something I learned from my lawyer. Yes, I got one. As a guarantor, I couldn't just remove myself from the loan like I initially thought. What I actually did was notify the bank of a material change in circumstances that made me concerned about the loan, because it was already in default. This triggered their review process. The bank could have chosen to do nothing, but given the payment history, they decided to accelerate. Important distinction. Anyway, Veronica tried several approaches over these 3 weeks. Week 1, the guilt campaign. Her friends started reaching out. Not the rabid Instagram defenders, but mutual friends from over the years. The conversations all follow the same script. "Hey, how are you holding up? Look, I'm not taking sides, but don't you think you're being a bit harsh? She's really struggling. Maybe you could just give her time." One of them, Jessica, let slip that Veronica was coaching them on what to say. Apparently, there was a group chat where she was strategizing how to get me to see reason. Week 2, the business emergency. This was peak comedy. Veronica suddenly had a massive client deal that would solve everything. She needed just 2 weeks to close it. The bank would get their money. I'd be off the hook. Everyone wins. She had Bradley, the investor, call me directly. This man, I don't know where she found him. "Bradley, listen bro, I've seen her books. She's sitting on 6 figures of pending contracts, but 3 months behind on a $1,500 monthly payment? Cash flow, bro. It's all about timing. I'm prepared to invest once she closes these deals. Then why doesn't she show these contracts to the bank? It's complicated. Very high-profile clients, NDAs, and such." Well, she can work that out with the bank directly. He tried to keep talking, but I hung up. Did some LinkedIn stalking later. Bradley was a serial entrepreneur whose last 3 companies all dissolved within a year. Perfect match for Veronica. Honestly, week 3, the legal threats. Marcus the lawyer was back. This time with a formal letter. They were demanding I, 1. Withdraw my false and defamatory statements to the bank, 2. Pay damages for business interference, 3. Issue a public apology for my harassing Instagram comments. My lawyer laughed, actually laughed. Her response letter was beautiful. No false statements were made. Notifying a bank of legitimate concerns as a guarantor is not interference. 2. Instagram comments on public posts are not harassment. Counter notice that any further baseless threats would result in a harassment claim from me. Then came Thursday.